U.S. military shoots down another object, this time over Lake Huron, making this the fourth shoot down in about 1 week. Joining us now is Lucas Tomlinson with the latest. Lucas.
Well, good afternoon. This is the fourth time in 8 days the U.S. military has shot down an object over North America, certainly unprecedented in the history of this country. We just learned some new details from Michigan Congressman Jack Bergman, of course, a retired Marine Corps three-star general and former CH-46 pilot, which Joey knows all about, of course. He says this a U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter jet shot down a mysterious octagonal object over Lake Huron earlier today using a Sidewinder missile. That object flying at 20,000 feet. That's notable because that's much lower than those two objects shot down over the past 2 days. This is now the third object shot down in the past 3 days, guys, starting on Friday when an object was shot down over the north coast of Alaska, as you see here on this chart, right on the northern coast of Alaska. That search for the debris has been hampered by rough weather. It's minus 20 degrees up there. It's very, very difficult. And then, of course, yesterday, another object was blasted out of the sky by a U.S. Air Force F-22 Raptor. It's notable that it was a U.S. Air Force jet shooting this thing down over the skies of Canada and Canadian airspace. That was on joint orders from President Biden and Canada's Prime Minister. And just as we know now, just moments ago, a U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter jet shooting down this object over Lake Huron. And of course, this came just hours after some airspace over Lake Michigan had been closed because they thought they detected something. But then NORAD and the FAA lifted that restriction. We don't know if that's because this object had passed through there. Obviously, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron are very close together with the state of Michigan in between. And as you see on the map there on the left side, radar anomaly, just hours after that shoot down of the object over Canadian airspace yesterday, the FAA closed some airspace down over Montana, right near the border with Canada, of course, near Malmstrom Air Force Base, home to some U.S. nuclear missile silos. F-15 Eagles were scrambled from Portland, Oregon. They went in, they didn't see anything, and the NORAD later put out a statement, guys, saying it was a radar anomaly, essentially saying this is a false alarm. However, Senator John Tester from Montana was on CBS this morning. He believes there was and is something up there. Now, Montana around this area is about 1,500 miles to Lake Michigan, Lake Huron. It's not immediately clear, was this the same object? You know, these flying objects have not been traveling very quickly. Of course, when you go back over a week ago, you had that gigantic 2,000-pound Chinese spying apparatus that was shot down off the coast of South Carolina, also by an F-22 Raptor, that one out of Langley Air Force Base. So just one more time, this is the fourth time in 8 days the U.S. military has shot down an object over the skies of North America, guys.
Okay.
Hey folks, I got my card. I tested it. Don't need to. It's SanDisk. I trust it, but I tested it anyways just to make sure. New products sometimes have problems too, right? It tested okay. That's what I'm using today. I also got my brass inserts for my rotary tool. I was wrong. It's not a 10-pack. It's a 12-pack. I don't know if it's 12 different sizes or if there's multiple of a few sizes. I don't know. So I had a bunch to talk about, and I forgot to write everything down. Of course. I went out yesterday and grabbed myself a coffee, or not yesterday, a couple days ago, and I noticed the river was up. I'm not surprised. We got about another inch of snow. I kind of use the term snow loosely because we got a lot of ice pellets, so it's not, it's like the consistency of a slushy. I wasn't even going to attempt cleaning it up. So it wasn't anything major, like I say, like maybe an inch, maybe a little bit less than that. So I wasn't going to touch it. It's all going to melt anyways, but you'll get to. So I went out and we got a lot of rain, which I talked about in the last video, and ice pellets and stuff like that. But we got a lot of precipitation, and the temperature was kind of nice, so the snow that we had, a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, but much of it melted. Well, I'm not talking good today. So I went, got myself a coffee, and I could see all the ice that had come off the river up into the floodplain. And I don't have my glasses on. I don't know if I'm focused here. It looks like I'm not, but I don't know. Let's try this. Now if I'm blurry, it's not as noticeable. So, grabbed my coffee and I went behind the building to look at it. There's like ice chunks everywhere. The whole floodplain was just all ice chunks, including the river part. But I think, if I remember correctly, I think part of the river was moving. I don't really remember 100%. So I went down to the boat launch and checked down there. It was the same as before. It wasn't flowing, but upstream from there is where it was all piling up. It was kind of the same thing again. So I checked the river flow chart, and yeah, water was rising pretty quick, like I figured. So I was going to go out the next day, which was yesterday, and see what it was like. I didn't feel like going out yesterday, and I completely forgot about the river, so I never got to look at it. But I looked at the flow chart again last night, and it had gone down. It doesn't look like it had gone up a lot. It was approaching 120 cubic meters per second on the first chart. And the second one, it peaked at 118, so it didn't go up a whole lot more anyway, so I didn't really miss anything, I guess. So I went to look today, and all the ice is still in the floodplain, but the river itself is open and flowing. There's a small chunk of ice here and there floating down the river. That was about it. The rivers are still up, but they're just not what they were. So I went down to the dam again today, and same thing. River's flowing, odd chunk of ice still coming down. But I walked down there, and you can see the ice where the river was up to. So I went to walk on it, start crushing the ice. It wasn't very thick, maybe quarter inch thick, a little bit more maybe. Some of it held my weight, and most of it didn't. So I didn't mind doing that because I know the water's not under it anymore. I could see the water level's gone down. So did that for a little bit, and I went leaned against the wall, and all of a sudden this big chunk of ice, the whole big slab of it just fell. I don't know if you see me jump in the video or not, but it scared me. Actually, splashed coffee on my hand. Oops. Scared me. I don't know if I caused that or just, it's nice today. It's supposed to be 7 degrees today, Celsius. I'm not sure what that is. I'll put that up on the screen. And before I come out, it's morning. Before I come out, it was 1. So, I figure, okay, it's still gonna be cold. But it feels warmer than 1. When I'm taking my breaks, I didn't need my gloves. My hands weren't cold at all. And when I leave here, I go down the hill and go get my coffee. And Monster's not very fast. By the time I get to the dam, my battery meter is just pretty low. So I got there today, I was down to 2 bars, 2 out of the 6. So while I was taking my break, I pushed the button in to reset the meter. And I was coming home from there. And I got to the top of the hill here. And I only lost the first bar. So I still got 5 out of the 6. So I decided to go for a little bit more of a drive. Because I want to drive more. The batteries just aren't letting me go very far right now. I want to stay out longer when it's nice like this. So I decided to go a little more, check out the soccer fields, see if I can get into the parking lot. I can. I won't be able to get to the river, but it looks like it's compact enough that I can actually get in. So but I can't get down the river, so there's no point in trying. Not just yet. So I went up the highway, I sat up there for a bit, and same thing. I'm out in the open now. There's a slight breeze coming across the field, and I'm sitting there with no gloves. I can actually feel warmth on my hands. So it's pretty nice out today. But I got looking at the forecast, and this changed since last night. As I was looking at it yesterday, and not a whole lot has changed, but I looked at it today. The next 4 days, 4, 8, 12, and 9. I got snow on there when it's 9 degrees. That's got to be overnight. I don't know what the overnight temperatures are. I can't read that without my glasses. I think that says -6. So, like I say, that's changed since yesterday. That wasn't there. That's why I don't trust the 14-day forecast. 4 days is a little more accurate because it's closer. When you get out to 14 days. I wonder if I can access that right now. Let's see what I can get here. Yay! Oh, excuse me. According to this, it's 3 degrees right now. Four-day forecast hasn't changed yet. Oh, just got an advertisement pop up. Yeah, a bit of a warm period, and then it's gonna cool off again. Nothing major, no major cold. I see more snow in the forecast, but that's 2 weeks away. That could change. So I can't see right now, so I'll wait till I get inside, and then I'll take some screen caps of the 14-day forecast so you can see what I'm seeing, what I'm sort of seeing. So I'm looking forward to the warmer weather. Hoping we get at least that. Warmer would be nice, but at least that. And I'm kind of hoping for a nice hot summer this year. Last couple years weren't too bad, but I like it when it's really hot. I think my favorite year was, I think, 1990. Could have been 91, but I think it was 1990. It was an El Nino year that year. It got hot in May and it stayed hot for the entire summer. It was just awesome. I remember one night I was out on my bike. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We got rain earlier that night. It was nice. I went out for a ride in the rain. And I was coming home. It was about 3 o'clock, and I had no shirt. I was just comfortable. It was just an absolutely beautiful night. It was a very hot night. That was nice. I miss those. We don't get temperatures like that anymore. That really sucks. Because now we get, like the last couple of years, we got like 30 plus degree temperatures in May, and then it cooled off for till like at least midsummer, and then we get the heat back again. I like it when it gets hot and stays hot the whole summer. I want another year like that. And that was nice. And we got remnants of a hurricane that year. Yeah, I think that was the same year. Got remnants of a hurricane, and it was like driving through a hot waterfall. It was just absolutely amazing. And the water was so warm. Just instantly soaked. Like the water, it's like someone dumping a bucket of water on you, but it just keeps coming and coming. And it really, really warm. I really enjoyed that. Generally, that's why I like when the remnants of the hurricanes get to us. We get that nice warm water. That's all we get. We just get rain. Really, really heavy, warm rain. Generally. We had a couple that it was cold rain, but generally we just get warm. I like those. Unfortunately, in order for that to happen, other people have to suffer along the coast, get the full brunt of it. It kind of sucks that way. So, one of my viewers was getting his monster serviced, and he asked the guy about this swivel bolt in the back here. So according to the service technician, that bolt is threaded into that first bar, and the second bar does have a sleeve in it which allows it to swivel around the bolt. So that first bolt, it goes in, it's threaded into that first bar. That explains why I can't get it out. So I don't know what I'm going to do. The service guy says they don't even bother trying, they just replace the frame. So even the professionals don't take those bolts out. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been considering trying to drill it out once the warm weather gets here. I'll start with a small bit, just gradually get bigger and bigger, because there's no way I'm going to drill through that bolt with the full-size bit. I'll burn out my drill, burn me out at the same time. So I'll just drill a little tiny hole through the center first and gradually get bigger and bigger, see if I can get it. If I can't get it out, I'll probably just leave it. I don't know. I don't really want to replace it, because I have a feeling Heartway is just going to replace that part that the bolt's plugged into or screwed into instead of the whole rear end suspension frame. Because if I only get that part, then I'm going to have to take those spring bolts out, and they're really tight. I'm afraid to. I don't know. I'll see what happens. Maybe I'll talk to my dealer and see if it's just that part, or if they'll send the whole thing. I don't know. But at the moment, I'm not really too concerned. Like I say, it's working. I've got it welded solid, so I can actually drive it. So it is working. It's just not as comfortable as it should be. Don't have that nice side-to-side springiness anymore. When I go over a curb up onto the sidewalk, it's quite a jolt now. That's the biggest difference. That's really the only thing I notice. So, but like I say, it's drivable. Drivable as it is. I was trying to remember. Because like I say, it was a bunch of things I wanted to talk about. I forgot to write them down. Thought about it last night when I was busy, and then I was going to bed. Or when I went to bed, I got thinking about it, and I said, no, I don't want to get up to do that. Because I was trying to sleep, and if I start doing something like that, it's going to wake me up. And I said, okay, I'll do it in the morning. And then I got busy this morning. And then I decided to go out, and it was too late. I say, I'm getting things accomplished now. Energy's coming back, yay. So I'm getting myself set up for summer, yay. I'm liking that. I know one thing I can talk about regarding the power source for the cameras. The day I went out in the rain, the day I noticed the ice, I used my DB power camera in the waterproof case. I still get the flickering, the power light flickering. Like I say, the H9R, when I have it in that case, the power light doesn't flicker on it. It only flickers on this and the SJ cans. So I got thinking maybe it's the cord. So I covered up the open frame because I didn't want the camera getting wet or anything. So I just used the one camera that day, covered up the open frame, and then I put the camera in the waterproof case. And as soon as I turned it on, the light was flickering. So it's not the power cord. It's I don't want it to be the power source. I'm just kind of hoping it's something a little more simple. But I don't know. So another accomplishment I got a whole bunch of videos done. The day that I was talking about making progress, that was one of the things I forgot to say. I got 4 videos done, like, edited and rendered and uploaded. I got 4 videos done that day before I even came out, and I got a couple more done that night after that. So definitely making progress on stuff. Because I'm not rushed. I got fire department videos done up until mid-March. So I only have to do 1 a week of those, and they don't take long. So I just got a whole bunch of them done and out of the way. I think I'll skip that one for now. So I don't think I have anything else. I can't really think of anything, so I have an idea for this camera, because this camera doesn't have a lens cap on it. Now there's nothing to protect the lens. I have an idea for that, and I have an idea for when I'm using it when I'm working on the monster to keep anything from flying at the lens. I've got an idea to protect it too, but I'll get into that later when that time comes. But a whole bunch of ideas floating around in my head right now, bouncing off each other. I'll have to see what happens. Yeah, the camera kind of seems like it's on an angle. That sounded like a quad. Yeah, I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna start rambling, and I'm gonna have like dead spots between speaking, so I guess I'll end here. I'll try to write things down. If I think anything else I want to go in, prepare for the next one. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.